Hey guys, it's Jolene from Smith's Nature Friendly Farms. We're hanging out in the garden today, and today I want to talk about my absolute favorite green bean. So green beans are one of my favorite things to grow. There's something in the garden that I eat a lot of. I love green beans, and they really are fairly easy to grow. So I really like growing green beans. Now, I do have a favorite variety, and we're going to talk about it. I'm going to show it to you today. This is our green bean area of the garden. We have a little bit of black-eyed Susans that popped up and that we leave for the pollinators as they come up. But this is all of our green beans. Now, we have in the past actually done an entire field's worth of green beans. This is significantly smaller than we have done in the past, but this is a more manageable garden for me. I've taken the field out of our garden plans for this time as we continue to reevaluate how we're going to set up the field into more of a no-till garden. I don't personally love the tilled gardens. That's how we did the green beans in the past, was with tillage. So this way is actually much nicer because this is in our no-till garden. So first off, you can see that the green beans that we are using right now, they are not a climbing green bean, but a bush green bean. This particular variety, so here it is. This is my favorite variety. This particular variety is the Contender green bean. Now, contenders are great. They are either bush beans or you can get the crawling variety. I prefer the bush beans. They're just easy to pick, very manageable. The crawling varieties are great if you're really dealing with some space restraints. So that works well too, but I have preferred the bush variety. I have grown other beans in the past. Often I find them to be really stringy in their quality. If you don't pick them fast enough, sometimes they're not that good. If you don't pick them fast enough, they often get really big and bulky, and people really don't like it when they start to develop the seed. Contender takes a long time before it starts getting big and bulky. It has a really nice formation time, I find. So I am trialing this year a bean from Baker's Creek Seeds that is, I think it's called like a yard long or something like that. It's a really long bean. Now this is a climbing bean, as you can see. It's falling over the side and needs to be redirected, but we're testing it out. This is for Jolene that likes to grow something weird and try something new. I'm not growing it for anything other than just to say I've done it, but I'll be able to compare it and see what it's like in comparison to the Contender green beans after it's done. So what is it about these Contender beans that is so awesome? Look at how prolific they are. This thing is covered and it's already been picked. Like, maybe hasn't been picked clean, but it's been picked before and it still has flowers on it. So I will get probably a good 3 full pickings off of these guys. So I'll pick 3 different times and fully clean the plant and be able to get beans off of them. So very, very prolific. Any plant, any vegetable plant that is prolific is a Jolene favorite. I love prolific plants. The other thing I like about this green bean is that it is relatively stringless. Like, you don't really notice the stringy side to it. Let me see if I can show you. Oh, there we go. See how it snaps nice and clean? There isn't this annoying string that you've got to peel out. So I really like that they are stringless. My customers really appreciate that, and I also prefer them. I don't like to get that wiry string in them. These Contender green beans have been treated terribly. I don't provide them with any fertilization, anything like that. Now the soil is good. We do use a very good composted material, so they don't probably need it, and because they're nitrogen fixers, they probably don't need as much nitrogen. So they certainly are a good plant to be growing in itself, but I really don't have to do much for them. So if you are a new gardener and you're looking for something that is super easy to grow, Contender green beans are super easy. They don't require the care that, say, a tomato would. Another reason to fall in love with Contender green beans, they don't lose their flavor after freezing, which is amazing. Some will lose their flavor and not taste as great. These taste fantastic after freezing. So these are a great one for storage. Because we don't use any chemicals or anything in our garden, one thing I can appreciate about these green beans is they're really disease resistant. I have really, in all the times I've grown them, I've had no major issues. Nothing that hasn't still allowed for the plant to still put out a ton of green beans. So again, it's still falling under that super easy to grow. It really is nice. You plant them and let them come to fruition. So that's it. That's my favorite green bean, guys. It's really not that hard. It's very simple. I do want to know from you guys though, have you found a green bean that is better than Contender that I should be trialing? I would definitely give it a go. I love a good test, so I would do maybe a couple of rows of the new version and a couple of rows of this version. I would caveat though, I would prefer that they were bush beans, but I wouldn't be adverse to trying something that was trellised as well. So you give me your feedback in the comments below. Awesome, you guys. Be friendly, be kind.